Months or so, I've gotten 119 motivated seller leads who have filled out a form on my website organically coming from SEO. Website SEO stands for website SEO or search engine optimization, and it's super easier, much easier than you'd think to actually get your website to the top. And obviously, looking at my screen here, this is kind of the data. I live in a town of 300,000 people where we do pretty much all of our deals. It's not a huge area, but we do definitely very well with SEO as you'd think. With a smaller area, you wouldn't do as well. Well, here looking at kind of my total impressions over the last 12 months and the amount of clicks, we've gotten over 650 clicks. Obviously, you got to think that some of these are going to be artificial clicks from competitors, people looking in the area, you know, how studying how we got ranked and all these things like that. But looking at the queries down here, Sioux Empire Home Buyers, our company, has gotten obviously the most clicks. Sell my house fast, Sioux Falls, Sell my house, Sioux Falls, all these other cash home buyers, We Buy Houses, all these other big keywords that we're trying to rank for is where we're getting a big majority of our traffic. So that's just kind of showing exactly where the performance is for Google Search Console with the website right now. Now, you look up Sell My House Fast Sioux Falls on Google for me. Obviously, we're going to be at the top for that one. And then you look here, we have our Google business profile there as well, you know, going down to seeing all the other competitors with it. Now, if you go to the Carrot, my Carrot website, it's where I use all of my websites for me, myself, and my clients as well. It's just a great platform to use. So in the past month, obviously, we've gotten, you know, a handful of leads in all time, you know, roughly, I wouldn't say, I think we switched over to Carrot about 20 months ago, roughly. So 120 leads all time. And those are only people who have filled out a form on our website. Obviously, this can come from organic. We do run PPC as well, which we'll get into a little bit, which is Google pay-per-click. So you run sponsored ads as well. Or it could be people who came from our Google business profile, clicked on the website link, and filled out a form that way. Now, this doesn't include people who have called into our Google business profile, which is another great way to get leads because not everyone's going to fill out a form. Some people might just call in, and if you don't answer, they might just call somebody else. So that's a very important thing to mention as well. Now, going to our PPC campaign. This is a topic for another day because this gets very complicated. The whole goal is to show you kind of how we get as many leads as we do with what I call the trifecta system. Running Google ads specifically, this isn't something that's going to get very complicated, so we're not going to talk 100% about this today. But as you can see here, my company here, where it says you right here, its top of page rate is 93%, where I get about 72% of the impression share, meaning 72% of the time I'm getting most of the people who are looking up for these keywords are seeing my ad, which honestly is pretty good. In this space, I mean, it really takes a lot of ways to get your Google ad at the top, as well as getting that much impression share. So it's very challenging, especially if you have more competitors. And as you can see here, there's plenty of competitors in my area who are willing to spend the money to do so. And so you're kind of battling with them as far as their ad, as well as the impression share with their budget too. So basically what we want to do today is we want to talk about exactly how we get as many leads as we do. How do you get motivated sellers organically from Google? And I've already mentioned a few of them. The first way is going to be getting your website at the top of Google, and not just at the top of Google, just random keywords for the highest search key terms that you can possibly see in your market or that somebody would actually look up. Second thing is going to be getting your Google business profile in the top 3 local pack for all the different keywords that a motivated seller would also look up, right? That's another important thing. And the third thing is getting a Google ad campaign at the top for also, once again, the keywords that motivated sellers are looking up. And this is what's very important. We're targeting keywords that motivated sellers would actually look up, because the goal with getting motivated sellers, especially organically on Google, is you want to be at the right place at the right time all the time. That's our motto with our company and all of our clients and our own company. And so it's something where you just have to make sure you're doing it correctly. So don't waste your energy on trying to go after keywords that people aren't looking up, or going after different things that isn't going to help you, right? So for example, Google Ads. We only run search campaigns. And basically what that is running a search campaign is only running a campaign where people are searching actually up on Google, right? We don't run ads on YouTube or anything like that. We just be very niche, and we only do exact match keywords. Now, like I said, Google Ads, this can get very complicated. I will be making a future video about this, but this is a topic for another day. Otherwise, we'll be here for a few hours. And so we like to be very niche with all this. And so it's like, okay, how do we actually do this? When I first started trying to get into SEO and trying to get leads on Google, there's a lot of gurus out there on YouTube that just don't quite understand the perspective of a beginner wholesaler, especially in this industry in real estate investing, of how to actually get a website up there, because there's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of people trying to sell you stuff that really doesn't actually help you, because the reason they're able to is because nobody understands SEO. And I'm here to make it much easier for you. That way you're not wasting money on people who are feeding you complete bullcrap. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a random city, completely random city. I haven't even, let's say for today we'll do Orlando. So if I'm looking to get a Google presence in Orlando, Florida, this is exactly how I would start with the trifecta system. The first thing is, of course, I'm going to try to get my website set up. And how you do this, the first step, is by analyzing your competition, see who's actually ranking in your areas for the top most searched up keywords that motivated sellers would actually look up. And then you want to do exactly what they did in a way. You want to find the blueprint of what they did or what the common ground is that what got them to where they are, right? SEO is it's a lot simpler than you think. It's simple but not easy, but it's something where if you just break down the numbers on how they did and you can understand what your competition did to get to the top, it's going to make it very, very easy for you. So let's do this. Sell my house fast, Orlando. We're not going to get into keyword research today because it's pretty obvious. I like to use just top 3. I'll save you a lot of money and time. Sell my house fast, we buy houses, and cash home buyers is going to be your top 3 keywords you want to get your website to rank for. Your website, your Google business profile, and your Google PPC campaign. If you can rank for those keywords, I promise you, you're going to get leads and you're going to get deals done without spending a ton of money. So that's the first thing. Now, we go in here, and as you can see, I'm just kind of looking around the SERP that's saying, sell my house fast, Orlando, Florida. Okay, so we see this, and we see a couple nationwide companies. We buy ugly houses. They do nationwide. Houseo, they're nationwide. Now, this company, Florida Cash Home Buyers, it looks like they're statewide because this is using a location page of Orlando. So what I'm trying to do is mainly the biggest goal here is like I do deals in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Now, you want to go based off what your competition is doing, but at the same time, you're going to have a benefit if your homepage is going to have your website in Orlando or Sioux Falls. And that was kind of confusing. Let me make it easier for you. Using your homepage is going to be much more valuable because it's going to get your website higher faster, and it's going to be more credible. Because Google ranking a website, it only matters about relevancy and credibility. And when that comes down to it, that's all they want. That's all they want in a website. And obviously, it's going to be easier to do this with your homepage. It's a lot harder to use a location page, and that's why I'm not a big fan of using statewide pages, especially very competitive places like Orlando, where there's a lot of people trying to chase the same keywords. You need to be better than what they are. And giving you a competitive advantage is going to be using the homepage, right? And so what I'm going to do is looking at these top 3 guys, I'm just analyzing the competition here. Who's ranking the best and why are they ranking the best? Well, if we're going to use our homepage and we're a local business in Orlando and that's all where we do deals at, which is what I'd recommend doing for SEO, I'm not going to look at any of these guys because they're using location pages and we can't relate to them. So I'm going to go to people who are using home pages. So right here, Easy Sell Florida, As Is Now, Orlando Sell My Home. I'm going to look at these guys and see what they're doing. And pretty much, and we won't go too in-depth in it. I have a whole video that I'll link in the description below of just competition analysis, but I'll run through it very quickly. I'm going to go through their website, and I'm just going to analyze their word count and their headers. And that's really all that matters. So I'm using SEO Quake in this video. I talk about it in my other one, and like I said, it will go way more in-depth than I am right now. 751 words, as well as how many headings we got. We got 8, 9, 10 headings, right? So this gets very confusing, but you just want to go in and analyze your competitors to seeing why they're ranking and what they're doing to rank, because it's, like I said, it's simple to get your website at the top. You just need to figure out what the SERP, and SERP meaning search engine results page, and what the SERP is calling for. Every SERP is different. If you're trying to rank in Orlando, it's going to be different than Nashville. If you're trying to rank in Nashville, it's going to be different than Tampa. It's going to be different than Miami. It's going to be different than New York, right? It's all going to be different. And you have to figure out what that is for your SERP. So I highly recommend going and watching competition analysis video, because that's going to then help you go on to the next step, which is going to be writing your actual content. Now, what's going to happen here is we can go into Florida Cash Home Buyers for this example. So we're going to go into our competition analysis and say that our average competitor has 3,000 words on their website. So out of 3 websites that you choose, 3,000 words is what they're doing to get up there. as well as they have, say, 25 headers, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to go in here and you're going to figure out exactly how they wrote their content. And that's going to be using LSI and entities to do this. And so if you're worried about also writing your content and don't know exactly how to get that done and writing your content specifically, like meaning writing your paragraphs, like everything, all the little words in this, they all matter because, like I said, relevancy and credibility is everything. Relevancy is 99% of SEO, meaning, as in relevancy, is the content on your webpage. That's everything, right? That's going to be 99% of it. I've gotten web pages ranked for many clients that, who do deals in pretty decently competitive areas that don't use very many backlinks because the on-page was so good. And this is what a lot of people will tell you is that you need backlinks, which you do, but if your on-page is good enough, you don't need as many as people think. And so, with that being said, you're able to analyze the competition, see how they wrote their content. That way you can develop blueprint to write your own content. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but if you want to learn how to write your own content for your webpage, I literally go into a how-to video completely unedited for free. It's an hour long. It's a YouTube video already on my channel. Link will be in the description to how to write the content for your website. This is going to be super important, and it really does not, it's like I said, it's not as hard as you'd think. It's simple, but not easy. You have to just understand what the SERP is calling for, and how you do this is you analyze your competition. And then once you do that, you then write your content and just execute on the blueprint that you already built of what your competitors already did. From there, then you add on some credibility, right? You build some backlinks. You do some very basic stuff like directories. I mean, simply put a website link in Yelp, Better Business Bureau, all these directories, and I promise you, that's all you need. You don't need anything flashy, crazy, anything insane or expensive, even worse, to get your website at the top. And that it's only necessary when it needs to be necessary is getting expensive backlinks or using black hat SEO tactics, which is another topic for another day, but it's just using, maybe things that are outside of Google's rules to get ranked, but you have to do what you have to do to get to the top because we need to get deals. So if you're curious on how to get your website to the top, I have both those videos linked in the description below. But the next thing we're going to talk about here is Google Business Profile. Now, I'm just going to use this as my example. This is my business profile. Nothing too crazy, right? It's nothing insane. We do very, very basic stuff with this. This is a very misunderstood part of getting motivated sellers. Now, a lot of people, they get the wrong impression when it comes to Google Business Profile, because with SEO, it's kind of the same thing, meaning the website itself. A lot of people, they get the wrong impression with this as well, where they maybe they write 10,000 words and they use the word sell my house fast in there hundreds of times. This actually hurts you. That's why competition analysis is very important. It goes in the same thing with Google Business Profiles, where a lot of people just get the wrong impression where they think, oh, if I have, like for example, we have 80 reviews. If I have 80 reviews, then I'm going to get ranked at the top. If I have we've been in business for 5+ years. If I've been in business for 20+ years, it's going to get me at the top. Yes, those things will help you, but I promise you this is 10% of Google Business Profiles. What I would recommend, because like I said, a lot of people get this wrong, where they get it wrong in the fact because they see other competitors. Like for example, if I look up Sell My House Fast, Oklahoma City, I can tell you for a fact, because this is where I see it the worst, there's going to be so many people that use a lot of black hat here, which we'll go into this. As you can see here, OKC house buyers, Sell My House Fast OKC. That's technically considered a Google violation. You can go and report this Google Business Profile. Now, I'm not asking you to do this, please. Don't do it. But you can technically go and report the profile for not following guidelines. And they'll remove the Sell My House Fast OKC at the end of it. OKC Property Bios, Sell My House Fast, We Buy Houses. Those guys are getting a benefit because they're putting their business name on it. Sell My House Fast OKC, that's probably the DBA. Sell My House in Oklahoma, it's probably the DBA. Huntley House Buyers, see, that's legit. That's good. House Buyers OKC, that's good. That's fine. But as you can see here, there's a lot of black hat SEO going on here. And a lot of people right away, what they do is they're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to do exactly this. I'm going to go with my company name, and I'm going to go ahead and add these keywords on there and do all this black hat stuff right out of the gate when they create your Google Business Profile. And this is going to completely screw you. This is going to mess you up really, really bad. And I'm saying this from experience because you can get your Google Business Profile suspended very fast. And when that happens, when your Google Business Profile gets suspended, sometimes you'll do nothing wrong. Sometimes it's because you obviously did something wrong. I've gotten Google Business Profile suspended for doing nothing wrong. And when the website is linked to that Google Business Profile, your website, not only is the profile screwed, it's going to get unverified and suspended. You have to fight your way to get it back. The website is going to take a massive hit from it because now Google has lost all your credibility with you. They now don't trust you at this point. They now have told you, we're suspending you because we don't like what you did. And obviously there is some times where you just can't control it. But that's why I highly recommend just being in control and just not going too fast with your profile. Don't go right away with these people that'll go ahead and they'll do all this black hat stuff and they'll go ahead and just try to get ranked as fast as they possibly can. This is going to hurt you in the long run. You don't want to do this. And so that's why right away, just put your business name in there. I promise. Sioux Empire Home Buyers is my name. You're going to want to go ahead and just whatever your business name is, whether you're in Orlando. So for this case, if you were Orlando Cash Home Buyers, keep it that way. Do not add Sell My House Fast, We Buy Houses, all this stuff. And for reference, if this is getting a little confusing, I do have a video that I believe will just be coming out when this came out, as far as getting a Google Business Profile set up start to finish and exactly what you should do in these points and what not to do. So go and watch that video, please, because it's going to help you out and save you so much time. So with the profile, I know I'm going on a tangent here. Just don't be dumb. That's just what I'm saying. It's just don't be stupid. Don't go and do all these crazy black hat tactics that all these other people are doing. Obviously, Priority Home Buyers, they're nationwide companies, so they don't really care. I care. We get a ton of leads from our profile, and I am not willing to do things that don't require. Now, if your profile is out there and it's not ranking and you're doing all the fundamentals correctly, you're doing everything you should be doing, and it's still not ranking, that's when you need to, especially if the top 3 people who are ranking, or even top 5, top 10, are using black hat stuff and they are ranking and you're not, then you have to do what you have to do. Black hat is then what I would consider necessary, and I would go and do it. And so just be careful when you're doing it. And even if you're about to do it, please DM me, message me on Instagram, whatever you got to do, verify, because the last thing, I don't care what you're doing, just it sucks to lose it because I know how painful it is to lose a profile, a website, all that stuff because of how valuable this stuff is, because there's so many motivated sellers going through Google every single day. So that's what I would recommend for Google Business Profiles. Just make it out very basic. And like I said, there's a video link in the description where it's a 30-minute long video unedited of me just going in and making a profile from scratch and what I would do, how I would set it up, everything like that. So that's what I'd recommend with a profile is you want to analyze your competition, and then once you do that, go and watch the video of how to get it set up, and then from there you can make adjustments as you go, and I talk about it in the video below. So that's Google Business Profiles. Now, we're going to go on to PPC. Now, as you can see here, you can already see Sell My House Fast Sioux Falls. You already see my PPC ad here, as well as a Google Business Profile ad there. With this, I haven't came out at this point of the time launching. I haven't came out with a PPC video yet. But with this being said, what I would recommend is if you are going to do PPC, please seek consulting or any sort of training of some kind. I highly recommend this because a lot of people get also this wrong where they think that Google Ads is super simple. You just type in a couple keywords, push a couple buttons, and bam, your ads are up. What you need to understand is Google Ads, their point is to generate as much revenue as possible. And I've seen this. I have talked to clients past that don't understand Google Ads. They're like, yep, I went ahead and I set up a campaign, launched it over the weekend, didn't look at it till Monday, and all of a sudden I lost $9,000 in ads. Please, please, please do not launch a PPC campaign without knowing what you're doing, because it's just very, very, very bad. I will be launching a video soon. I don't believe I have yet as far as getting a PPC campaign launched, but please learn the basics before you do this, or at least hop on, DM me for free. I will happily help you out. But with that being said, with PPC, the 2 things that I would make sure you're doing correctly is you're only doing search campaigns. And what these search campaigns are, because in Google Ads, there's multiple different ways on how to get campaigns set up. You can do a YouTube campaign, a search campaign, a dynamic campaign, all this stuff where it'll pop up on the side of websites and all this stuff. We only want to pop up on search terms. And the reason I even use PPC in the first place is because, yes, our website ranks for multiple different keywords. So why would I use PPC? Well, this is what going back to the trifecta system. If someone pulls up Sell My House Fast Sioux Falls and they see my PPC ad, then they see my website, then they see my Google Business Profile, and then they see it again. It's like, what are the odds somebody is going to click on one of those things and fill out my form or call me? It is very, very high. And that's what I like to encourage, is having the trifecta is everything. So if you're going to do anything, obviously, ideally, you want to have at least a Google Business Profile up first. First and foremost, it's the easiest, I would say, to get ranked. Then the second thing, the second thing that's easier to get ranked is a website. Then Google Ads. This is something where it's just an extra add-on financially. It doesn't cost as much as people would think. But some markets like Tampa, Orlando, Miami, California, all these places, they can get very expensive because Google Ads will basically determine your quality score, basically meaning they'll determine your relevancy and your budget. So budget plays a huge factor. You're able to pay your way to the top. And so you don't want to waste a lot of money. You want to do this correctly. So like I said, go and seek consulting for that. But going back to the trifecta system, it's something where you need to have this. And so with Google PPC, only use a search campaign for the keywords, because there's going to be naturally some times where people are going to look up random keywords like get a cash offer now in Sioux Falls, get a cash offer now in Orlando, and your website might just not rank that day. It might be number 2, number 3, number 4. Just for whatever reason, that's just how Google is. That's just what happens. And so with that being said, it's something that is very, very important to make sure that you have done correctly, is have a search campaign done. Second thing is, with Google Ads, and this is going to be going on to your research, is you want to make sure you are using exact match keywords. Setting up a campaign, if you're unsure, like I said, go look at some basics. There's exact match, phrase match, and broad match. You want to make sure that you're only using exact match keywords, because if you're using phrase match or broad match, Google is going to start ranking your ad for things that are not relevant to motivated sellers. The only reason I'm launching a PPC campaign is to catch the other motivated sellers that are running through the same keywords my website is ranking for, and just find another way to catch them, right? It's just another lure out there. And so that's what you want to do. Search campaign, exact match keywords, set up your campaign to make sure your landing page is proper, and it's very easy to do this. Simply with my PPC campaign, I just have my homepage hooked up. You can do other things like carrot links or anything like that you want to get set up. But with this being said, this is pretty much the whole system of getting set up on Google. Now, I know I didn't go very in-depth how to actually do each one of these things, but with that being said, I have video links in the description talking about all this stuff. Really all you need, let's re-break it down. Get your Google Business Profiles set up at the top, right? I have a video in the link in the description to how to do this. Second thing, let's get your website at the top for all the keywords such as Sell My House Fast, We Buy Houses, Cash Home Buyers. If you get your website ranked at least at the top 3 for all 3 of these keywords, you are going to be golden. You're going to get leads. You're going to get motivated sellers. It's a fact. So once you have that second thing, now from there, you've probably got some traction. You've probably gotten some motivated sellers. You've gotten some leads. You're getting some good stuff going on. What I would recommend is now launching a PPC campaign for exact match keywords, so you can add on an extra buffer, an extra lure to getting these motivated sellers to click on your stuff and fill out your form on these keywords like Sell My House Fast, We Buy Houses, Cash Home Buyers. Because there's going to be random keywords that people will look up that your website might not rank for. Get a cash offer now in Orlando. Get buy my house fast for cash in Orlando. There might be some other website that's more relevant. I only want my website more relevant for the keywords that are going to be looked up the most, because you're going to get the most traffic that way. Use PPC as the buffer to chase those long tail keywords. A lot of people, they go out there and they say, oh, it's much easier to get your website ranked for long tail keywords. I'm not going to do that. It's a waste of time, because now you're chasing after motivated sellers that are going to completely come in random, because your website's not ranking for keywords that are used a lot. So use the website to rank for the top keywords. Use the PPC campaign to have an extra buffer, an extra safety net to get motivated sellers from those long tailor keywords that your website may not be as optimized for as somebody else. So that's what I call the trifecta system. If you're curious, you have any questions, please comment below. You can DM me on Instagram. I have that link below as well. feel free to I know the link is in the description as well for my company, marketingformotivatedsellers.com. If you're interested to see exactly how you want to get results like this, I know with my site, 120 leads, we close 2 to 3 to 4 deals every single month from SEO. PPC, Google Business Profiles. And it's the most legit way to get leads because you're only getting people that are actually motivated to sell their house for whatever reason. Nobody's going to look up on Google if they're just curious. Everyone on Google who is looking up to sell their house fast or cash home buyers is because they are very serious about selling their house, so the turnaround time is much faster. Like I said, if you have any questions, please comment below. Please watch the videos in the description if you want to learn more on how to do this yourself. It's simple, but it's definitely not easy. It requires some work, and you have to go about it with the right strategy. Otherwise, you are wasting your time. So if you enjoyed the video, you found some value out of this, please like, please subscribe. That would mean the world to me to get this to more people to help out. But I definitely appreciate your time today. And if you have any questions or want to hop on a call with marketingformotivatedsellers.com and you want me to do this for you instead, set up your SEO and PPC campaign, I'd be happy to do so. Thanks for watching.